Hey there, we are the Gratitude Girls.
The Gratitude Girls are in the house. Good evening, Lori.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. And I'm so excited that the world decided to go back online so that we could be here tonight, although we were figuring out a whole bunch of other ways. It's almost like, did all of our prospects decide to not follow us? Oh, that's our topic tonight. Okay. Well, today was a really good example to an extreme of what we're going to talk about tonight. So if anybody is tuning in for the first time, maybe we'll give a 30-second explanation. My name is Catherine Asaro Myers, affectionately known as Rara is in the house, and I'm broadcasting to you live tonight from beautiful Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, Canada, and I'm here with my amazing Gratitude Girls partner, Lori Del Querdecchi.
Yes, and I am in Tennessee, right outside of Nashville.
And you are here right now tuning into our Gratitude Girls coaching and training session in our group or on our page or on our YouTube or in our private group. And we are here giving you gratuitously a snippet of what our coaching sessions could be like with you, either in group or in person. So we'll get right into our coaching. And then if you hang out with us just until the end, about 20 minutes, then we'll give you some details on how you could have Gratitude Girls coaching and training in your life. All right.
And just one moment for the PSA public service announcement. If you're watching this on the replay and you wondered why you didn't see it live, because even though Facebook is back up and they're allowing me to share this to our corporate business page, Gratitude Girls, it's not letting me share it into our groups. So we will be posting that later. So just in case you wondered when you see the replay, that's the story.
Yeah,
Sorry.
thank you. Thank you for that. The show must go on, and we are here. So amazing. We're not letting anything get in the way of what we want to deliver to you tonight and the content that we want to deliver to you. Thinking about tonight, for example, where did our prospects and clients go? Well, we knew that you couldn't get to us or you can't get to us, but there are times that this happens in business. And we think to ourselves, like, what did we do? Did we do something? Is it possible that someone just decided that they no longer want to answer my messages or our messages or your messages? Did we say something? So let's hit some topics. We'll maybe hit about 7 different points. If you want to take notes, we'll give you the 7 points. We'll high level it. We'll go into it a little bit, and then we'll go into our private dining room. Okay. So one reason that you might decide not to show up for someone, because we don't want to put the universe saying that they won't show up for you. One of the reasons you want is because you fail to see value. So if you can't see value that's being delivered right away, it is like putting a match in water, right? Think about that. How do you tell someone, how do you show someone that there's value? Well, you have to give value. It's that simple. Lori, you want to say anything about that point?
Yeah, exactly. Like if they can't see the benefits that your product or service provides, or they can't see like kind of what they're going to get from it, from what you're providing, then that's it. Then why would they bother spending the money, right?
Right, because someone has to be very clear. Be very, very clear about your value, about what it is that your value proposition. Okay, that's point number 1. Let's go to point number 2. I'm not interested. Just lack of interest, apathy, not interested, not connecting, not engaging, don't care. That's one of the reasons why you won't show up for someone and why they may not show up for you. I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes people can get boring. And if they are consistently boring, it won't take too long to catch on that it's probably going to be more of the same. So let's talk a little bit about lack of interest, Lori.
Yeah. So, like, if it's not applicable, also, like, for example, if a social media person was trying to talk to my husband about how he could get his social media game better, he would be like, I don't care. I'm not even on social media and I'm not promoting anything. So it wouldn't interest him because he doesn't even have an interest in the game.
Good point. So when you say, should I be talking to the person who makes decisions? The question is, do you need to make a decision on the subject? Because sometimes we want to climb our way up the ladder, but we need to make sure that it's of interest to them. Okay, no new insights. What if somebody is telling you something that you've heard over and over again? Nothing new, same old, same old. Are you going to tune out to them? Well, you may think that what you're talking about is interesting, and they may think what they're talking about is interesting, but use a different lens. Ask someone you don't know. So if there are no new insights, if there isn't anything really hot topic, and it could even be edgy, just let it be new. If it's old news, who wants to listen to that?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like if somebody comes to me trying to pitch something about web design or marketing, and they try to tell me, like, I had somebody a couple weeks ago and they said, I needed to increase my meta tags and keywords. The search engines don't even look for that anymore. So I've been doing web and graphics design since 1993, before this person was even born. And yes, there's new things, and I'm not saying that I'm not, able to learn new things, but I do stay on top of the game and in that arena. And that's old school tactics. We used to do those 20 years ago. That's not what Google and even Yahoo looks for nowadays.
And you make a good point. So let's stay on this topic. If you know somebody who is really experienced and you try to tell them something and it's not new, you check the person you're talking to before you start dispersing information, because you'll lose credibility really, really fast. So if it's not a new insight, make sure it's accurate when you do give that. Okay, let's talk about, if you ever walk into a house and it smells bad, and you're thinking, what's that smell? Well, content delivery has a smell. It has a scent, and it can smell really bad, and it can turn people off. So if you think, I'm not going to talk to that person anymore on social media, or I'm not going to respond to them because what they're doing just isn't what XYZ, remember that you may subconsciously pick up that habit and you may start doing it and not realize it. So take a lens, ask somebody that will give you a really good answer. How about a coach? How about asking a coach to take a look at the messages you send? So Lori, in the bridge, I will go through the content creation of an email to a prospective customer, and we will actually redesign that, because there's more than one way to say, hi, how are you? And I really want to pitch you something. And I know you didn't ask. There are so many ways to do that. The best way is to be authentic, be genuine, and don't give somebody something if they didn't ask for it. So we might call it slimy. We might call it like old school. We might have other words for it. I think it's important to stay authentic. So just don't turn people off with these tactics. They don't work, and you lose fans really fast.
Right. Yes. And exactly. And if somebody, if you send someone an email, don't send them another email that says, oh, by the way, I saw that you didn't respond to my last email, so I just wanted to follow up with you. That's not following up. That's hounding. That's spamming. If they didn't respond to your email, there's probably a reason, especially if you don't have a relationship with that person already. It's different if you already have a relationship. Like if I send Catherine an email or a text and she doesn't respond, then I'm going to know either she was busy or something came up that she didn't get it. Maybe it fell into cyberspace, whatever. But that's because we have a strong relationship and we know how each other responds to each other. Someone that you don't know and have that relationship with, If they don't respond, it's probably because they don't want or care for whatever you sent them. So don't send a follow up because that's not in the key of follow up. That's
Love it.
spamming.
I love that. And Lori, one of the other things is don't say to someone, let me know you got this. Let me tell you why. It's aggressive. And if you say to someone, I want to make sure that it didn't get lost, that's like saying, I don't know if you're going to respond to me, so respond to this. It shows, Bob Golden told me this a long time ago. He talks about commission breath.
Yes.
So we'll just, we'll move on from there. So think about that. Okay, next point, point 5. Other more pressing issues. Okay, possibly the person you're talking to is getting married or having a baby or a grandbaby, or maybe just going out on date night, or maybe they're just unplugging. Maybe they're in a 3-hour exercise class. Maybe they're trying to hold back everything so they can breathe and they're just not able to respond. So there could be other more pressing issues. You've come across that, right, Lori?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Same thing. I watch my great nephew usually once or twice a week. I have a new grandbaby coming that I plan to be helping with once his mommy goes back to work. I'm not going to worry about things that are going on while I'm holding my grandbaby. Right?
And wasn't today a good example? When people were off social media, when you're watching this, how many hours were you not able to spend time on some things that you do believe are important, or they aren't, whatever level of degree? It was out of the realm of what was important. Something else became more important. Okay, super. Oh, timing. We know this. We know this in music. We know this in cars. We know this in movies, in theater. We know this in everything. So imagine you're watching an Olympic sport and these two dancers are going to run at each other and jump in midair, and they're going to connect and do a spin. You're going to be like this with bated breath, because it's all about timing. And if they miss, it's timing. Okay, Lori, I know you want to talk about that.
Yeah, definitely. Just like the same thing. I mean, the guy that I bought my truck from, I just got my new Expedition is coming, but I normally buy anywhere from 3 to 5 years. And so the guy that I buy from, it's the same dealer, the same salesman that is still in Houston from when I lived down there, which was a long time ago. But I still deal with him because he's wonderful. He doesn't hound me. He knows approximately when I'm interested. And then he follows up with me and lets me know the deals that are going on or whatever, because he also has paid attention to what I like. And so he lets me know different things of what might be, like, for example, like I bought the 2021. I could have ordered a 2022, but I didn't like the way the dashboard looks, and I didn't want the huge iPad thing in my face. And so I'm in front of a computer enough. I don't want it in my car. Right.
So
but
this is a good point, Lori, because you have a relationship with him and he
Right.
knows you really well.
Right. Yes. And if you take the time to get to know your prospects or your clients and customers, then you're going to know how better to respond to them, to ask them when they might be interested in whatever your product or service is. You ask questions to figure that out. If they're not at all, then, maybe you move on or you come back at another time, but where they might have different situations in their life, because that can happen too. But the thing is, not just hounding someone when they're not interested at that time.
Think about what is that prospect or that customer, what are they working with in their life? May be good for you because that's the day that you want to go and talk about your new product or service, but it may not be good for that person. So in terms of timing, I want to add one more thing. If you have one day a month that you do something and that timing doesn't work out, you might want to up your game on that. You might want to level up on how many times you communicate with people, because timing is everything, and timing isn't a one trick pony. It's something that requires some navigation. Okay, let's talk about status quo. What you have is great. It's just not worth it for that person. You know, some will, some won't. So what? Stop whining. So I'll let Lori talk about this, right? I know you want to say something about this as well, and then I'll wrap it up after.
Sure. Yeah. So, for example, I had, when I was running my networking luncheons 7 times a month, we had insurance agents come to the networking luncheons a lot. And so I met several different ones almost every single week. And, they're there to work their business, and that's great. But like for me, I've been with the same insurance agent for 30 years. I'm not even interested in looking at something else. I know what I've got where I'm at. I'm happy there. I'm not interested in even looking at something else. And so, therefore, if I'm not a possible prospect, your time is better worth talking to other people that might be, because there are some people that just might not ever be. Just like there's some people that would never send a greeting card. That's okay. So we don't have to talk to those people.
Good point. And the thing about status quo, what Lori just said, is so having a loyal customer is really important. So know when you're speaking to someone, if they're loyal to someone else, don't bug them. Yes, there's some old theories on, well, you never know, and maybe they'll give me the referral. I understand. Send them a holiday card. Find out their birthday, send them a birthday card. Don't pitch them for their business. If they said they don't, or they're not interested, then be a good listener, as opposed to, well, I just think if you watch this one more video, this might change your mind. It's important to remain in integrity and to be authentic. So ask yourself that question. Am I in integrity? Okay, 7 points. I'll read them over real quick. Failing to see value, lack of interest, no new insights, turned off by that sales tactic, other more pressing issues, timing, status quo. So I believe that if you want to really get good at understanding your prospects, we need to know how to read them. And if we don't take the time to really listen, and all we're doing is talking, we're not going to understand their perspective or point of view, and they're not going to buy from us, and we're not going to sell them anything. So if you're wondering why people decide to disappear or go somewhere else in the world of technology, it could be any one of those 7 reasons. It could be that the internet was down like today, but all the more reason why it's a really good idea to know how to reach people more than one way, especially if you want to check in and see how they are. Not to spam them, but if you did have a meeting with someone and it was on social media and you couldn't follow up, that might say something about the way that you do business. So if today you were going to have a meeting on social media and you didn't know how to reach those people in that meeting, then what does that say about how you're going to conduct yourself in the future? Think about that. Lori, is there anything that you want to say about this subject before we talk about what is it like to be coached and trained by the Gratitude Girls?
Yeah, no, I think we hit all the buttons on that. And just well, I guess I'll say the final thing is think about how you want to be treated, right? And how you want other salespeople to treat you. And if how you want to be treated is not the way you're treating someone else, just think about that.
Great point. So tonight you're here listening, or this morning, or tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon, whenever you catch this. We're really happy that you're here. We want to tell you how grateful we are. We'd love to hear from you, continue to hear from you with your comments. And if you want to know how to take it a step further with us, we want to be very clear with you. You can, if this is good for you and this is what the timing works for you, if this timing is great, enjoy and let us know how you're enjoying when you have a chance. We appreciate it. If this is the right time for you to take another step, then you can try us on for size. And we think that's kind of cute. So what that means is you can come and try us on for size for a shorter period of time at a different price point. And that information is on our website. And if you're ready to dive deep and you really want to take care of something at hand, you want to make sure that it goes a different way because you don't like the way it's going, well, Lori will give you some more details on how, same thing with our website, on how you can get with us. And perhaps you want to start something new. It is Q4, so you can look at your year and see how it went. And if it didn't go the way you want it to go better. I'm being pitched right now by a company, I won't say where, and they follow up with me every single day. And they want to know if I'm interested in their coaching. And every single day they ask me. They don't stop. Now, you're not going to get that from us. We're very organic. So the thing I want to be able to give you the difference, the differentiation between Gratitude Girls training is you make the decision and we're here to support you. We will not come after you to make that decision. You decide and we're here. Lori, is there anything you want to say about that?
Right, exactly. Yes. And most of you that are following us, that have followed us for years, and even if you haven't, you can watch all of our previous shows on gratitudegirls.com as well as our YouTube channel. But, we give and give and give. Same within our Gratitude Girls, the Practice Gratitude Every Day group. There's lots of free training in there, even more in our private training group, that if you wanted to try that, you could even try that for a month. So, but also just go to gratitudegirls.com/coaching. You can see how to try us on for size and get that special rate. I've never seen a coach that does that offer. And I've coached coaches for over 20 years. And I've never seen a coach that does that. We do. And not only that, I've been coaching over 20 years. Catherine's been coaching over 20 years. We're not going to tell you really how many more years. We're just going to leave it at that. So that's plenty. But with that, you get 2 for the price of 1. So every good girl likes a coupon, right? So once again, go to gratitudegirls.com/coaching. See all the details there. Reach out to us if you have any questions. You can send us a message at facebook.com/gratitudegirls.
Yes, we'd love to hear from you and continue to hear what's going on in your life and let us know what the timing is like for you. Maybe there's something that you want to just get a little different perspective on, and we can do that. And like Lori said, we'll both do it from a very solid point, but yet we still do have slight differences. And I think that's kind of fun. Somebody asked me once, what would it be like to get in between you two? And I thought, oh, it's going to be fantastic. It's a Gratitude Girl sandwich. So if you have something and you want to get between us and you want to hear what we have to say, we're available. So Lori, we're going to be going into our private dining room and looking at the time. Yes, it is 5 to 9. Well, I'm in Eastern, so it's 5 to. So if you are available when you see this and you want to know what that is, because you may not be catching it live right now, we go into a private dining room with our private coaching clients, and you can find that on our Facebook page. And if you do want to try that for a month, I think you're going to have 50 or 80 hours of coaching. How many hours of coaching is there? Oh my goodness. In 1 month, I don't even think you'd be able to see all the hours of coaching that are available. So yeah, think about that. If it intrigues you, we'll be able to give you more details on it. Lori, it's great to see you. And there ain't no mountain high enough, because if you knew what I had to jump through to get here tonight on time, I'm going to do this for one more week at the end of the month. Then I'll tell everybody what I did. After I did this for a month, I'll share some details. So thank you. It's so great to be here with you. Of course, I want everyone to know that you are an amazing partner.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And you as well. I definitely, the feeling is mutual. And we will see all of you next week. Same gratitude channel.
Ciao.